Good morning. Happy Thursday. Come on in. Welcome to Wednesday's live stream on Thursday. And give everyone a couple minutes to come in. When you get in, just say hi to me in the chat, please. Let me know where you're joining from. And if you have questions ready to go, please drop them in the chat. This is gonna be a short one today. I'm not feeling wonderful. Mercury's in Gatorade, and tech has been hell for me for the last 48 hours. So I'm kind of eager to not be interacting with technology if possible. So I'm going to make this a short one today. Bear with me. So I'm probably looking at like a half show instead of a full one. So get your questions in quicker, sooner than later, and let's get to them so that we can get some good information flowing, and then I can bounce and relieve myself of the technical tension I'm experiencing and lots of stress to go with that. So, yeah. It's important to give yourself grace, be kind to yourself, and to know when on some days your best is not as good as other days, and that's okay. That kind of grace is healthy, right? My best sometimes is very, very high. And some days my best is very, very low. And as long as I'm always in integrity on it and honest with myself that I'm doing my best in that moment, I'm good. There's peace for me. So I highly advise. And I take that from the Four Agreements, which I'm a huge proponent. If you know me, you know I'm a big proponent of the Four Agreements. And while we are just waiting for people to hop in, drop their comments, join the chat, I will share what those four agreements are. Why not? So the first one we already talked about, which is always do your best, which is always changing, right? Just always do your best. The second one is take nothing personally, because most things aren't, especially what comes from other human beings who have their own stuff going on, right? The stuff that comes out of them is usually about them, right? So taking it personally, other people's words personally, just is voluntarily handing your power off to somebody else for no apparent reason at all, right? I think when that lands, the other people's actions and words stop having impact and effect when you realize it's not really about you. Yeah. And also along that same line, what other people think of you is none of your business. You'll be a happier person if you take that stance, right? The third of the four agreements is be impeccable with your word. That means do what you say what you mean, integrity, be in integrity. If you're not going to do a thing, don't say you're going to do a thing. Yeah. Mean what you say what you mean. Do what you say you're going to do. Integrity all the way. You'll like yourself better if you live in that space. So the last of the four agreements is never make assumptions. It's also probably the hardest. We are meaning making machines as humans, and we make a lot of assumptions. In the gaps of missing information, we fill in those empty spaces with assumptions. We don't have to, but we do. It's human nature to do that. When you stop making assumptions, you become more empowered in your life. You start asking questions, right? That's a powerful to, instead of jump immediately to an assumption, get curious and ask questions. It is also a kind of a conduit for critical thinking. Assumptions are pretty low value use of your imagination. And then the other flip side of that is if you're making it up, right, and you're making assumptions, why not assume the best? Why do people always assume the worst? Yeah. Making it all up anyway, right? Make up something really good. the best case scenario is just as easy to imagine as the worst case scenario. And they're both imagination. So if you're going to make assumptions, make ones that benefit you, serve you. Hello, how are you? Vaibhav. Did I say that right? Probably not, but apologies. Welcome in. If you have any questions for me to approach, drop them in the comments. Eager to start getting to answering your questions. A little bit of housekeeping. I have up here in the top left-hand corner, there's a QR code for the Rebel HR community where we do more of these kinds of things in a more enclosed, quieter space than LinkedIn. It's where there are coaches and resume writers and a lot of frustrated job seekers. It's a good place to go to get good information, high value information. No grifters in there. It's a grifter-free zone in the Rebel HR community, and it's free to job seekers who need it to be. So join us there. I'm going to switch that widget out too. This one is the Buy Me a Coffee widget because I do have to pay for all these platforms and the StreamYard tool and all these things. And I'm not trying to make money, but I just, I need support to cover all the systems and keep showing up. So I like coffee too, so appreciate that. All right, let's see what we've got question-wise. Hey, Miguel, good morning. How's it going? Do you have oh man. You look like you typed that with your toes. If you have any questions ready to go ahead and drop them in. I have a puppy here, so if I'm moving around a lot, it's because I'm trying to distract him. Whenever he sees me on a call and focused on something other than him, he's like a toddler, and he starts going nuts and being, where he's not supposed to be and doing what he's not supposed to do because he knows I can't stop to yell at him. So for this day, because I'm already not feeling great, I'm already dealing with a lot of tech stuff, and I want to keep this a short call. If he does something, I'm going to move and I'm going to stop him because I can't really. Nathan, how are you? Cool. Nathan said, Lori, for me, I live the life rules I find well outlined in the meditations by Marcus Aurelius, and I agree that is a great way to learn to live and find your peace. Absolutely. Whatever your thing is, whether it's that or 4 Agreements or, A Course in Miracles or the Bible, I don't really care what your spiritual journey and enlightenment looks like. As long as you get to a space where you are radically accountable and empowered in your life, right? Don't give your power away to others. Don't let other people impact you. That's like another level of peace and liberation in your life. So, and it helps in job search too, right? High agency and high empowerment and high accountability are definitely character traits that employers are looking for. No, Poe. See, we're already, he sees me intently talking over here on my laptop. So now he wants to climb on coffee tables. Awesome. Anywho, so yeah, I just think it's really important to take a radically accountable. The alternative, right, to radical accountability is you have absolutely no control over what's happening in your life. It's somebody else's fault. There's nothing you can do about it. And oh, well, that's not really something I want to choose. Hold on one second. All right. Puppy's joining us because Puppy's driving me crazy. Say hi, Poe. Since nobody has any questions yet, we're going to look at a cute puppy. Who doesn't love puppies, right? This is Poe. Poe is almost 6 months old. Well, he'll be 6 months old at the end of July. Say hi. Hi. Hello. Anyway, see, I'm a human, and I deal with human crap, like puppies trying to tear things up in the middle of calls. Oh, I get it, Miguel. Makes sense. Anyway, so yeah, so those are some of the character traits. It's funny because in this next chapter, like, yeah, skills and all that and experience matters. But at the end of the day, there are a lot of soft skills that matter a lot more right now. like adaptability. So one thing that every company has in common right now, just because of where we are in this paradigm shift of AI, every company is in somewhat of a reinvention mode, right? Just like we are. We're trying to shape shift and reinvent ourselves to stay relevant, and companies are trying to shape shift and reinvent to incorporate AI and different working models, right? I don't think we even know what the future org charts might look like with AI, right? They'll be very different. We know that. There will be roles that exist next year that don't exist today, and such like that. So one of the most important character traits that employers are going to need in this next chapter is adaptability, right? The ability to encounter change, and instead of breaking down because it's hard, uh, and breaking down because there's no playbook, right? There's no playbook for what's next here. Um, you have to be open. You have to be a critical thinker. You have to be high agency, because nobody's coming to tell you how to do the thing, right? So that's why it's really important. Adaptability is going to be critical. Self-awareness matters a lot too. If you know what you're really good at and what you're not, and how you can add the most amount of value in any scenario in any organization, like that's a really useful quality, right? Just knowing where and how you add the most value. Like, I don't do well in large corporate, overly bureaucratic, structured environments. I will be less effective than somebody who likes a lot of structure. The way my ADHD brain is set up, I'm really good at ideating and brainstorming and problem solving and figuring things out in the gaps where there's no clarity, making sense out of ambiguity, kind of finding my way through the chaos. I'm naturally good at that. So, that's largely why I found my way in early stage startups, because that scrappiness, right? The problem solving, that working tactically and thinking strategically about scale all at the same time is unique, right? So that self-awareness of knowing where you can do your best work and how you add the most value is really useful. So yeah, these are the things that I think are going to matter much more than many other things in the future, especially with AI, right? With AI, humans need to learn how to human better. And it's kind of funny because before AI, hiring was all about and even employing people was all about trying to make everyone as similar or as same as possible so they can be easily measured, right? We can easily measure productivity if we're measuring everyone the same way by the same things, but that doesn't actually leverage the unique and different strengths of all people. But with AI, AI is always going to be faster, more optimized, better, more accurate at a lot of things. So the human stuff, the stuff that AI can't do, the nuance, the personality, the character, the, all of the kind of human things, right? We need to get better at that, because that's what AI can't replace. And that's not easy. It's not easy in a world where we tried to create corporate clone people, again, to be easily measurable and easily, commoditized, if you will, as cogs and machines. So it's like we created this and now we're completely diverting from it very fast with no plan, training, upskilling, communication, clarity as to what will happen 20 years from now. None of that, right? That's interesting. We're in a very interesting place in time. And I think we can either be absolutely petrified and terrified by that, or we could be really excited and leverage it, right? Now is also the easiest time ever for any person to build anything. It's never been easier to build something than it is right now. And that's really cool. People are taking advantage of things like that too. I don't think non-tech people should try to vibe code entire products. I think vibe coding is a great use of building like prototypes for things. And if they're good, then hiring real engineers to build those good things out, right? So non-technical people, we don't want fully vibe coded apps that engineers haven't touched. We don't. They're not going to go well. It's not going to go well. But like I said, vibe coding for somebody like me is awesome because I can put a prototype together and then go talk to engineers about what it would take to make this, come to fruition and be a high value usable tool or platform, right? So, yeah, and there's lots of other great ways to use AI right now as well. So. All right. If no one has questions, I'm probably going to end this early because like just showing up just to talk to myself on a screen alone. Oh, good. Yay, Nathan. Thank you. All right, Lori, what I have seen is that a lot of companies have penalized people for thinking for themselves. Those people like us that are quick-witted and problem-solving and adaptable have been shunned. I know and see that now with them cog in the machine type companies. Well, yeah, that's why I don't do big companies. So only companies that have already built the machine with the cogs, the easily replaceable cogs, those are the ones that don't want thinkers. The companies that are in the process of building the machine need thinkers. There's nobody there to sort how to build it if not thinkers, right? That's why Nathan always gravitated to early stage companies, startups. And you probably would be great in that same environment within your industry, right? There's a lot of like interesting like building tech, kind of firms out there right now that are doing a lot of, unfortunately, the building space has been, a little slower to digitally transform than others. And there's a lot of tech companies solving for things like that right now. Scheduling in building is horrible and a disaster. I'm not sure exactly, specifically your field, but I feel like it was either building or energy or something along that line. Anyway, but whatever it is, find the tech startups that are solving problems in that industry and go see how your deep, robust institutional knowledge and industrial knowledge can help them. It's one thing to try. So, but yes, I agree. A lot of companies don't want thinkers because, again, they just want people to do the thing, right? But with more and more AI, those just do the thing jobs are going to be AI jobs, right? Because if it doesn't require a whole lot of nuance and strategy, like AI can do all of those things, the repetitive, redundant work. It's great at that. So I just think net there will be less jobs across the board eventually, not tomorrow, but eventually. So anybody have anything else? Anybody have any questions? If not, I'm going to probably cut this short and give myself a break from this laptop. And then I can stop chasing the puppy around my house while I'm also trying to do this simultaneously. Hey, stop. Get down. Pardon. Yeah, I'm probably going to cut this short today because it's already a disaster, much like all of my tech experiences the last 2 days. So, yeah, I have spent most of my career working for the under 50 million. We never had that dashboard or software. Yeah, but now everybody does. I have been working on creative modeling and forecasting operations. Yeah. Go find the tech companies that serve those companies, right? Yeah. It's a different environment and they do value thinkers and they value high level problem solving because that's the kind of work that they're doing. When you're early in a company, there's a lot of validating a product. There's a lot of understanding how clients and customers might interact with that product. AI can't do that. AI is not useful at that stage of an early new company at all. So that's where we can fill the gaps, I think, best. So anywho, I'm going to wrap. So I really appreciate you guys joining me on Thursday instead of Wednesday this week. Thank you. My regulars, I appreciate you guys so much. Miguel's building computers and workstations over there. Good for you. Join me next week. I'll be here Wednesday, I believe, next week. I'm also started signing up guests, so it won't be just me all the time, which like on days like today would be especially great because I don't really feel like talking much right now, which is why I'm going to cut this short. But on a day like today, it would be nice to have a co-host with me to address some stuff. So anyway, I appreciate you guys always. Truly, I do. Next week, I will be in a totally different energy space, I assume. See, look, I made an assumption. I intend to be in a better energy space next week and go the full hour. So have questions. Also, I think the same people come. So I think y'all are running out of questions. Invite a friend to bring some new, fresh questions to the table. There's got to be questions. I see people on LinkedIn every day just absolutely befuddled about the job market. Like, bring them to me. If you see people out there that are like, can't understand, tell them, come to Lori, the Rebel HR's live AMA on Wednesday morning. I will answer their questions. Okay. Anyway, bye, Nathan. Bye, Miguel. Bye, friends. I appreciate you as always. And I will see you next week.